power behind it.
Bruno, what do we know about his opponent? There goes another clothesline.
Well, in all honesty, I can't say that I know that much about David Meltzer. I know this, that obviously he's not a veteran. He may have only a few years' experience. But unfortunately, when you put a man like...
Welcome to another edition of Newsstand versus Newsletter. I am your host, the future Hall of Famer, Scotty B. I'm going to bring on the biggest Ultimate Warrior fan, second to one person, Kenny, no last name needed for him. But this is Andrew, also no last name needed. Looking down, not paying attention when I introduce him. Looking down at his phone, aren't you?
No, I was actually looking down at something I wanted to discuss.
Well, let's just start with small things here. How's the day going for you? Because I'll tell you, I had an interesting evening, I got to say. But let's see, how was your evening?
Just like all the others, I watched YouTube reaction videos until I got the call, the pre-production call that we were going to be going live.
Yeah, that's me. You'll see this in 6 months after it's recorded. I went out for a little bit, had to get some stuff done. I got to tell you the craziest thing. I'm in Walmart, and I didn't run into her, but I'd seen an ex-girlfriend from a distance who you actually have as a Facebook friend. So you know who I'm talking about. It doesn't start with a C, there's an L. And we're not going to mention any names.
Oh, yes.
So I see her, I'm like, oh God, no. Because she's a real nut job, right? So I'm trying to maneuver between aisles. I'm dodging her. Like, I get the hell away from this person. So I get my stuff done, get to the car, throw stuff in, boom, good to go. So I go up, and I go to Wendy's to get some food. I'm like, it's food, right? I walk into Wendy's, and I'm standing in line with my roommate, and this girl is like doing this one. Like, look at him, like, what's that girl doing? Hold on a second, my cat is just being an asshole. And give me a second. I'm probably have to edit this out. I got to check him because he's sling. Just give me a second.
Unbelievable. This is not professional atmosphere. I'm putting
well, I have a cat who might die, so just fucking deal with it. He's just meowing. I got to make sure he just got his sling off. So anyway, I don't even care. I'm not even going to edit it out.
Let me ask you this. What are you going to do about it? Are you a trained veterinarian?
Well, no, but I have to make sure he's like, I show his sling off. I'll tell you about that in a second.
So you'll be like, okay, I'm looking at it, but you won't be able to do anything
about it. Well, if I see his arm go the opposite fucking direction, I know there's a problem. But anyway, so I'm in Wendy's, and this girl's looking at me. Like, she's eyeballing me. I'm like, she would eyeball me. Comes over to me. Hey, what's going on? I'm like, oh my God, it was an ex from like a few years ago, and it just looks so much different. I'm just like, wow, like it's just the weirdest night. And then this fucking clown here, my cat, who has his whole body slings, he screwed up his arm last week. I'm looking at him, he's on the couch, and he's like this, but he's not moving his head. I'm like, what the hell? I walk over, he's got parts on the fucking sling in his mouth and between his teeth. It was just a wild night. Wild night. Crazy evening. But regardless, we'll get off that topic. I think the girlfriend thing was nuts. 2 girlfriends within like fucking half an hour. And I hadn't seen any of them in like years. Like, it's just within a half an hour is just crazy to have that happen all within half an hour. Thank God I dodged the first one, because that first one was crazy.
That's when you go to the gas station and buy yourself a lotto ticket, because you're the luckiest man on earth to meet two women who would allow you into their lives. That you're blessed.
And I'll tell you, the first one was obsessed with me for a while. God knows why, but she was crazy. And the second one kind of is too. She's a fucking nut anyway, regardless. But anyway, let's jump into what we're doing. We are going to be doing 1992 today. So first things first, what were you doing in 1992, Andrew? No last name needed.
1992 was really a year of transition for me. It's when I moved out of living with my grandparents with my mom to getting our own place in Rockwood Hood.
Yeah.
And that was an unusual experience for me, like being able to just go out, because my grandmother was very overprotective of me. And so I didn't really get to do a whole lot of hanging out until I got a little bit older, like 10, 11. I was able to like go across the street, shoot the soccer ball around, but always under supervision. She would always look out the window. You could always tell. Whereas when I was living with my mom and my stepdad, they were like, okay, just go out, come back, whatever.
Don't come back dead. If you do, just make it quick. But you were going from, where were you living at before then? Was it you were living in Garden Settlement, were you not?
No. I was living in Rockland Road.
Okay.
On Rockland Road. And then I moved to Rockwood Court.
Okay.
And that was also the year that I started junior high. So it was a pretty eventful year for me in my development.
For me, it was also a move was happening with me. We It's funny. I'm living in the same area now, 30 years later. But when I was a kid, we lived here. It was housing. We moved from here out to the country. So I'm a dead center in the city into the like dead fucking country. That was a crazy transition. Like going from having like all the TV channels, having 3 TV stations. Got out of wrestling altogether in August. Like everything was just a wild change. And then got into the music more. I was bigger in the music. I was a big Guns N' Roses fan at that point. Really, really big. Yeah, pretty big.
Played a lot of street hockey.
I played a little bit of hockey. I played more straight hockey when I was a kid, when I was younger. Because I obviously didn't play it.
Well, you're older than me, so
by 23 years, yeah.
Yeah.
I was born in the 40s. I look really good for my age. But yeah, pretty much that. And meeting the ladies for the first time, stuff like that. Seeing my first boobs when I was in 1992. So April, I remember that very well. That was a big day in my life. And pretty much that's it. More music. Still, like wrestling was still a thing, but I must have been a big Hulkamaniac dude because the second he was gone, so was I. Like Scotty, I was watching a bit in the spring. I remember getting SummerSlam program in the summertime, but after SummerSlam, that was it. Like I didn't watch anything at all. Like I was told the story of one of the other ones. In early '93,
you would have been starting what, grade 9, grade 8,
grade 8, yeah. And I remember seeing finding out Brett was a champion and just being like, whoa, that's weird. And not knowing who Yokozuna was, because I'd never seen Yokozuna. He debuted after I stopped watching. Bam Bam being a heel was kind of funny. I thought that was kind of cool. I watched the Superstars one day randomly in like March of '93, and it was the contract signed with Brett and Yokozuna. I just found it weird. But let's jump into the sports of 1992. So in the NFL draft, the Indianapolis Colts select defensive tackle Steve Eatman from the University of Washington. I don't know who he is, and that kind of tells the story right there. That's basically who that is. Best record. Take a guess. 1992. San Francisco 49ers at 14-2. The worst record.
One or the other.
Yeah, it was in the 90s. Yeah, I mean, it was San Fran or Dallas. The worst record in 1992. Records with an S.
I'm going to say the Patriots and Cardinals.
Got one right. Patriots and the Seahawks, both 2-14.
Okay.
Yeah. And the Super Bowl was Dallas beat Buffalo 52-17. That's when Buffalo just started shitting the bed. Like they were a little bit competitive in the first two. By the time they got to the last two, they were fucked. MVP, Steve Young. Bill Cowher was coach of the year for Pittsburgh. Steve Young was offensive player of the year. Cordese Kennedy was defensive tackle, was defensive player of the year. Offensive rookie was Kyle Peckins from Cincinnati. Never heard of him. Defensive rookie of the year, Dale Carter for Kansas City, and he was a hell of a player. Comeback player of the year, Randall Cunningham for Philadelphia. Man of the year, John Elway. And Super Bowl MVP was Troy Aikman, who is not an MVP at commentating, by the way. He really sucks at commentating. Like, awful. But that's the NFL. MLB, pick the best record. 1992. Atlanta 98-64. Worst record?
I'm just gonna guess Cincinnati.
Dodgers. That's a funny one. Look at that now. Yeah. They were 63-99. Toronto beat Atlanta 4-2. That was a horrible day in my life. That's hell of Toronto. Rookie of the year, Eric Harrows for LA Dodgers. Pat Litzis, I can't pronounce his last name, from Milwaukee. Cy Young, Greg Maddux, but he was playing for the Cubs then. He wasn't playing for Atlanta. Yeah, he was playing for the Cubs. Dennis Eckersley for Oakland. Jim Leland, manager of the year for Pittsburgh. Tony Russo for Oakland. Most valuable player, Barry Bonds for Pittsburgh, and Dennis Eckersley for Oakland. That's crazy. He was a closer and got Cy Young and MVP. Talks a lot, man. That's big. Like, I don't know if that's ever happened since that or before that. So
that was a big year for him. I remember that because I was really into baseball around this time. And him along with Canseco and McGuire, it's crazy they didn't get more World Series reigns.
Yeah, I know.
Although it's funny because if you think about it, the Atlanta Braves of the 2020s have just as many World Series rings as the Atlanta Braves of the 90s.
True.
And they've got 9 more years. Yeah. Well, 8.
Well, I don't think that Braves team is going to hold up to like be consistently winning World Series. Not like back in the day with the pitching. NBA, who has the best record?
Bulls
is 67-15. Who has the worst record? And you've just flipped that record. No, Minnesota Timberwolves had the exact opposite, 15-67. Yeah. The Bulls beat Portland 4-2. Most valuable player Michael Jordan. Rookie of the year Larry Johnson for Charlotte Hornets. That looks like a misprint, but okay. Defensive player of the year David Robinson for San Antonio Spurs. Sixth player of the year, I can't pronounce his name. Most improved Percy Allison, Washington Bullets, which that name got changed in '98. And coach of the year Don Nelson, Golden State Warriors.
Was it Detley Schrempf or that you?
Yeah, Indiana.
Yeah.
NHL, who had the best record in 1992?
Was it Pittsburgh?
No, it was
Chicago.
New York.
Oh, okay.
50, 25, and 5. Who had the worst record?
Was it San Jose?
It was San Jose. I think it was their expansion year.
Second year.
It was 17, 58, and 5. Stanley Cup Finals, Pittsburgh beat Chicago 4-0. God bless my grandfather. He would have been so upset about that. He was a huge Blackhawks fan.
Well, it's a good thing he died before he saw what they became, man.
Oh yeah, he'd be rolling. He's an old school guy. If my grandfather was alive right now, he'd be in his mid-90s, and he'd be like, "Sons of bitches, the hell with them all!" Like they're all
not even like to protect a star or a head coach, to protect a replay coach.
I know.
Get out of here!
It's ridiculous. President's Trophy obviously to the Rangers. Art Ross went to Mayor Lemieux. Calder Memorial Trophy. I love this guy, Pavel Bure. I was a huge fan of Pavel Bure. Yeah. He was awesome.
The Russian Rocket.
Mario Lemieux, Conn Smythe. Hart Trophy went to Mark Messier. James Norris went to Brian Leach. Vezina Trophy went to your boy Patrick Waugh for the Montreal Canadiens. And that is the end of sports. Keep going.
1992 was when I was as deep into hockey card collecting as ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like 91 was really what started it, but 92 I had built up a collection. I was also getting new stuff. I think I did it until about midway through 94 when I just gave up on it because there were just too many series, too many. Like it used to be about the rookie cards, then it became about the inserts, and I had no interest in that.
Bullshit. All right, let's jump into 1992. Crazy year for pro wrestling. Let's just kind of review it real quick. We start out with the best Rumble I think ever in 92
to this day.
Then you get all the crazy shit happening, the sex scandal, the Brain Boy scandal, the steroid scandal, and it all goes to hell. I'll say this. I wasn't aware of the Brain Boy scandal as a kid, I don't think. I don't want to say I wasn't. I think I must have been because I wasn't surprised when I got the internet. I had heard about it.
I remember it all happened at once. Like all of a sudden on Larry King, he had Bruno and Superstar.
I remember seeing Larry King. I remember seeing that and Bruno and Vince arguing. Yeah.
That was great.
Oh, Bruno. I know you're a Bruno guy. Bruno was so bitter. Just so fucking bitter.
Every reason to be. And, I was also collecting these magazines, and I had gotten this particular one because I was looking through it before our show, and there was a section that was quite interesting to me, and I think it would be interesting to you. It was called The Name Game.
Okay.
And it's their early 1992 name and their late 1992 name. So it had a list of guys, and this is how I found out about this.
Okay.
Early 1992 name, Big Josh. Late 1992 name, Doink the Clown. And I remember just being like, wow, I know. Like, I remember telling people about this because everybody wants to know who Doink was. I was like, that's Big Josh. Like, who's Big Josh? Like, well, WCW guy. I guess you weren't a big WCW.
I'll tell you about Matt Bourne before you get into that. Matt Bourne was really fucking good. Matt Bourne had his issues.
Really good.
Man. He could take anything and make it awesome because he made Doink pretty awesome as a heel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Doink was fucking great. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, there's just some other ones like Thomas Rich became Tommy Rich. The Samoan SWAT team became the Head Shrinkers.
Mm-hmm.
Soul Taker became Papa Shango. Chris Chavez became Tatanka.
Yeah.
Tom Brandy became Johnny Gunn. It was just interesting to me because it was the Big Josh one that really stood out.
Yeah. We're gonna. So 92 was pretty transitional because I mean, after '88, Hogan takes off and it gets like really weird, man. That spring. Going into the summer of 92, before they decided to make SummerSlam at Wembley, it was way different. SummerSlam was completely different. I think they were going like it was like
Landover, Maryland.
It was going to be Dave Boy and Repo Man was one of the matches they were going to go. I think Brett Michaels.
That's the type of match that I could see getting cut for time.
Brett Michaels. I think they were going to do the ladder match at that SummerSlam. I'm gathering they were going to try to do that.
Probably
do Flair and Savage in the main event.
Well, it seemed like they were going to do a Brett Papa Shango.
Yeah.
angle after Somerset. So I wonder if they were going to do some sort of voodoo with the belt maybe being raised, kind of like a few years later with the Boss Man raising it at King of the Ring 99.
Is that how the ladder match started? You raise the belt and Bret has to get the ladder to go get it?
Well, the belt goes up and he's like, what's going on? And like Michaels attacks him or so, and the belt gets lowered, and it's like, how did that happen? And then Papa Tongo comes out there
shaking like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
But Charles Wright seems like a really cool guy. I actually watched this shoot. He seems like a really decent guy. He seems pretty fun. All right, let's jump into the awards. Who wants to go first? Go ahead.
Before the awards, we also have a tradition, the in memoriam.
Oh, let's hear it.
Here's some wrestling personalities who are no longer with us. George Arena, Kevin Chorley, Joe Dusick, Roy Hefferman, who was one of the Kangaroos, Corsica Jean, Jimmy Lennon Sr., Danny McShane, Bull Montana, Fred Pantano, Ralph Pulley. So far, this is a who's that? And here we go. Nature Boy Buddy Rogers, Buzz Sawyer, Roy Shires, Pat Sullivan, Uncle Elmer, and Tojo Yamamoto.
Goddamn Uncle Elmer. I'm supposed to say I'm worried about those. My shoulders act up. Sorry, I keep doing that. It's getting annoying, but it's really, I don't know what's wrong with it. All right. Rookie of the Year. Who wants to start? Want me to start?
Yeah, you start.
Because I got a big thing for this one. My Rookie of the Year is... Do you like my music that I did?
I also like how you didn't let me guess.
But I'm sorry to not let you guess. And secondly, when the music, you can't talk over it. We're all muted. Just let you know ahead of time. I did an actual podcast with harness racing, and one of the guys said I could talk through a race, and he couldn't. So he was just talking to himself for about 10 minutes or 2 minutes. But anyway, Rey Mysterio. Sorry, that's my bad. I didn't let you guess. I'll let you guess the next one. Psycho. That's crazy. Rey Mysterio 92.
Yeah, he was a young man.
Yeah,
still wrestling.
I know. Psychosis at 2, Diamond Dallas Page at 3, Volk Hahn at 4, and Eric Watts at 5. That's my Rookie of the Years. I'm gonna guess for yours, Eric Watts.
He was me right.
Fuck, man! Talk about a bunch of bullshit right there. Like,
yeah.
But anyway, keep going. We'll talk about it after you're done. Then.
So Eric Watts wins it with 12,958 votes. First runner-up is Diamond Dallas Page with 12,785 votes, so it's pretty neck and neck. Second runner-up is Vladimir Koloff with 4,124 votes, and third runner-up is Chaz with 2,893 votes. Honorable mentions include the Ebony Experience, it would go on to become Harlem Heat, the Metal Maniac, Max Moon, not a rookie, Mean Mark Canterbury, who would become Shanghai Pierce and then Henry Godwin, Brody Powers, Bill Wilcox, Neil Superior, and Mike Samples.
So with that, I cannot go with Eric Watts on that one because he was dog shit. But the thing is, I can't look up Mysterio because I didn't see the stuff from Mexico at that point in time. You know, it's tough with that because I wasn't getting Mexican tapes when I was fucking 13. Like, I just wasn't into it. So, DDP maybe? And even then, he wasn't that great.
No, he wasn't that great. But, yeah, I looked at, like, career-wise, and I got to say Mysterio had probably the best career of anybody that we're mentioning. Maybe a case for Booker, but I don't think so. I think Rey Mysterio had the best career of everyone.
Right. Fair enough. So the next one is going to be Manager of the Year. I'm going to go 1992. That's kind of hard. I'm going to go with Hennig. Did they put Hennig down as a manager? Dangerously. Yeah, makes sense. Dangerous lines. Yeah.
Paulie wins it with 15,137 votes. First runner-up is Kurt Hennig with 14,349 votes. Second runner-up, Harley Race with 12,814 votes. Third runner-up, Jim Cornette with 8,790 votes. And honorable mentions include Jimmy Hart, Paul Bearer, Sensational Sherry, Medusa, and Cactus Jack.
Oh, he managed the Barbarian.
Yeah, and Tony Atlas and Butch Reed.
Guess who my Manager of the Year is?
Is it Cornette?
They love Cornette in the Observer.
They
that
do.
fucker, like he could kill Meltzer's mother. I'm like, it's okay, it's okay, Jimmy. We don't care. I have Paulie Dangerously at 2, Ron White at 3, Medusa at 4, Sensational Sherry at 5. So that's that.
Who do you think? Who do you think got it right?
Dangerously was right. Yeah, you gotta go with Dangerously. You can't go with Cornette, man. They love Cornette too much. The Observer, like it's automatic. He's winning that. Fuck, he's probably gonna win it this year for crying out loud. The next one is Most Improved. This is the only one I don't have music for because, for fuck's sakes, like I couldn't find music for this. I had it, but it wouldn't upload. It's a long story. And by the way, if people watch this, it took me about an hour and a half to get the music for all this stuff and get it uploaded properly into these pictures. So you better be very appreciative and hit that subscribe button and that like button and that notification bell. Anyway, Most Improved. I want you to guess who we have here.
Is it the Patriot? El Samurai.
Yeah. Brian Christopher's 2, Shawn Michaels is 3, Dustin Rhodes is 4, and Makaro Yusada. I pronounced his name wrong. I don't care. That's who I have. For your Most Improved, I go Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But this one, the actual winner makes sense as well.
Okay.
From a kayfabe perspective.
Razor. Yeah, true.
I mean, he was doing nothing as Diamond Stud.
And realistically, I'm not a fan of his, but he's definitely much better in WWE than he is in WCW. Like
at that point, yeah.
Yeah, I'll give him that. I mean, he gets 94, 95 Razor. I know people love it. I'm not a fan, but
May Mania 10 and SummerSlam 95. What are you talking about? I'd say if anything, you could say 96 Razor, like Razor feuding with Goldust and his, drug suspension and then losing to Vader.
To pick one, I mean, I didn't see enough Al Samurai stuff to actually go with him, so I will have to go with Razor on that one. Unfortunately, for myself,
Razor wins it with 14,339 votes. First runner-up is Ron Simmons with 11,648 votes.
Oh, I thought, never mind. For some reason, my brain entered rookie. I'm like, I'm the one. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Second runner-up is Virgil with 10,802 votes. Third runner-up is Brian Christopher with 7,654 votes. And honorable mentions include Crush, Reno Riggins, Shawn Michaels, Terry Sims, Tatanka, and Rod Price.
I can't believe Shawn was so low.
I know.
He should have won it, my personal opinion. But I'll still go with the PWI because I've never seen Al Samurai 92. So I kind of have to go with that one.
More important thing would have been to see him in 91. To see how... El Samurai, to see the improvement if that was there.
Best heels, most hated wrestler is best heel for me. I'm gonna guess Ric Flair. Ricky Rude, eh? Ravis and Ricky Rude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, what I'd like to have right now is let you know that he won it with 17,002 votes.
Smart ass.
First runner-up is Ric Flair with 15,828 votes. Second runner-up is Jake Roberts with 13,235 votes. And third runner-up is the Moondogs with 8,901 votes. And honorable mentions include Cactus Jack, Big Van Vader, Papa Shango, Nails, The Barbarian, and Maniac Mike Davis.
Interesting. Who are you guessing for me?
I'm going to say Rude as well.
He's simply ravishing.
There you go.
It's my all-time favorite theme song.
Oh, it's so fucking corny. But yeah, it was Rude.
I love it.
Rude at 1, Flair at 2, Roberts at 3, Michaels at 4. And that's really all they're giving me. They're not giving me anything else. So that's what that is. We're going to jump into the next award. Actually, give me a quick second. I have to bring up your format. On the format's right here. That's my bad. Inspirational wrestler, and I'm using the most disgusting promo tactic. So I'm up first, and I want you to guess what it is. Promotional tactic. I'm sorry. Most disgusting promotional tactic. Yeah.
I'm thinking. Is it the teasing Hogan's retirement?
158 pounds and Wig What's?
Well, Jesse Ventura, this will be a one fall, 15-minute time limit.
So we're gonna see if we get hit with the copyright on that one because I went to change that up. But I figured, hey, what the hell, right? It's only 10 seconds, so we'll be all right. Yeah, the WCW pushes Eric Watts. Number 2, Papa Shango, Voodoo Angle. Number 3, Ultimate Warrior Coates Angle? KOTZ? What the hell is that? Is that the angle of Papa Shango?
What does it say?
KOTZ.
Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, and KOTZ angle.
I have no idea.
Buddy Rose claims he's responsible for Bud Sawyer's death. Now you're telling me pushing Eric Watts is more disgusting than that? That's fucked up.
Yeah, but I think it becomes a matter of who saw that.
Well, racist angles with Ron Simmons, wouldn't that go above pushing Eric Watts? I could be crazy, but we're not going to say any more about it because I don't want to start a big fucking war of Meltzer if he hears this. And who the hell knows? He might just get bored one day and listen to it and then threaten to sue me or some shit. So that's that. So inspirational wrestler, I'm going to go with Hulk Hogan. I don't know. Fucking, he kind of retired.
Quite the opposite.
Ron Simmons. Simmons. Yeah, okay.
Ron Simmons wins with 18,762 votes. First runner-up, The Undertaker, with 14,095 votes. Second runner-up, Ricky Steamboat, with 12,917 votes. Third runner-up, Eric Embry, with 6,012 votes. And honorable mentions include your boy, Jerry the King Lawler, Nikita Koloff.
What the fuck's he got a goddamn fucking spit for being a pedophile?
He inspires.
Yeah.
Nikita Koloff, Sergeant Slaughter, Sting, The Patriot, Masa Chono, and Manny Villalobos.
Okay, whoever the last guy is. All right, well, Ron Simmons makes sense.
Yeah.
That disgusting angle thing's a little strange. The fact that like the stuff that was not voted in was really horrible.
That lets you know who's voting.
Last one before the halftime. We're gonna go with feud of the year. I'm gonna pick yours first. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Ricky Steamboat and Rick Rude.
It actually features this gentleman right here.
Oh, God.
It's Jerry Lawler and Jeff Jarrett against the Moondogs.
Fuck Jerry Lawler. Okay, keep going.
They win it with 15,147 votes. And I know you say, to hell with Jerry Lawler and all this jazz.
Yeah, it's piece of shit.
That said, major props to PWI readers for voting for a feud that they probably didn't even see. They were just following via the magazine coverage because I'm not, unless everybody from Memphis voted, it's people that are voting based on, I guess there was a little bit of tape trading going on, but I think it's more along the lines of the coverage that them and their sister magazines gave that feud. First runner-up is Ric Flair versus Randy Savage with 13,998 votes. Second runner-up is Ultimate Warrior versus Papa Shango with 13,237
Jesus Christ,
votes.
are you serious? What the hell? What's wrong with these people? Crack?
Not
I knew
a
that
good
shit.
feud.
I knew that shit was bad as a kid. Like, well, I was a kid, I was a teenager, but I knew it was bad.
And third runner-up is Rick Rude versus Ricky Steamboat with 10,961 votes. And honorable mentions include Jake Roberts versus Sting, Eddie Gilbert versus Jerry Lawler, Terry Gordy and Steve Williams versus the Steiners, and the Heavenly Bodies versus the Fantastics.
All right. That's fantastic. No pun intended. What do you think my feud of the year is?
Is it also the Moondogs against Lawler and Jarrett?
We gotta get some. The mayhem is underway again.
Yes, it is. The Moondogs and versus Jerry Lawler and Jeff Jarrett. Number 2, Schruda and Company versus Masawa and Company. Number 3, Rick Rude versus Ricky Steamboat. Number 4, Ric Flair versus Randy Savage. And number 5, the Heavenly Bodies versus the Fantastics. And that is the first half of our show. We're going to jump into something here. Kind of like, who knows? We're just going to kind of ramble like idiots, but whatever. 1992 is a weird year. Guys are leaving, guys are staying. Who knows what's going on? We're going to throw it to Andrew first. Savage leaves WWF, let's say in late 91. Let's just say Savage doesn't even come back under the retirement to wrestle Jake. Just leaves. Goes to WCW and say debuts in January 92. They have some kind of clause issue in his contract where he can't debut till January 92. Go ahead, Andrew. Tell us what happens.
Here's what I think happens. I think the one who suffers the most from Savage going to WCW in early '92 is unfortunately Ron Simmons, because I don't think that world title reign happens. Because here's my thought process: the main eventer that leaves WCW around that time is Lex Luger. Now, the heel side, you've got Rude and the Dangerous Alliance, and soon to be, you've got Big Van Vader.
Yeah.
Sting's the main babyface. You got Steamboat and Nikita underneath him, but Sting's the main guy.
Yeah.
Savage, if he comes in, the heel side, I don't know. I don't know if that works, because if he doesn't join the Dangerous Alliance, then he'll be like I can't see it either. He'd be like a lone wolf. Maybe he has Elizabeth with him. Maybe he has Medusa with him. Maybe like he lures Medusa, but I can't see it. I think what happens is Savage becomes a little bit underneath Sting in the babyface role, but like wrestling guys like Vader, wrestling guys like Arn and Eaton and Zbyszko and Austin, while Sting's concerned with guys like Rude. And I see what happens with Jake DDTing Sting a couple of times and taking him out of the match, but instead of Ron Simmons replacing him, you have Savage. And when you mentioned that the whole stuff with Jake doesn't happen, it's possible you could have him come in as a heel. I don't know if the fans would boo him.
Not right away. They'd probably be pretty happy he's there.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like the Punk thing. It was almost like the Punk thing in AEW. Punk will eventually be a heel, but you can't boo him right now.
Yeah, they're just happy to see him. So with Savage, I think Savage would be much more welcomed by the WCW wrestling fans than Hogan would be a couple of years later. I think Savage fit the WCW motif a lot better, a lot more clean. I think that with Savage, he gets the Simmons role. You could even have him lose to Vader at the end of the year again and have Vader be the monster heel in '93, and Savage kind of becomes like a Davy Boy, where he's buddy with Sting before eventually he turns, and you gotta have Savage as a heel.
Oh yeah, at least once. So does he stay the whole time? When does he go back to WWE? Does he go back at all, or does he stay in WCW? Does it become a lifer, do you think?
I think he turns heel in like some point in either late '93, early '94.
Yeah.
Maybe you have him. Maybe the roles are reversed against Flair. If Hogan comes in, he may join up with them. Everything goes as
No, we don't need to go that far ahead. I know what you're getting.
Yeah, I think when NWO comes, you can really go either way with Savage, because he's put in enough time with WCW, but he's also a WWF guy, so you could really go either way with him.
Well, even like I'll tell you, back when the kind of veering off that a little, still talking about Savage when NWO was happening. He was one of the believable guys. Savage, like he was so intense. Like I mean, he was like jumping in the limo. Remember the whole limo thing and all that shit. Like he was like really, really kick-ass. Piper was good too, but I felt like Savage really made it believable. He was a total lunatic because Savage was a little crazy to begin with.
That, and he could still go. It wasn't until that stupid ass cage dive that shortened his career. My God, I don't know what he was thinking. Do you see how high that is?
Oh yeah, it was him holding it and going. I think it's like, oh fuck, like. But that's Savage for you, man. So Hogan staying WWF in '92, like basically, and this it's the same. I think Savage is gone, so Savage isn't there. It's Hogan with everybody else. I think they go Flair Hogan at Mania, and they do it with.
What's the outcome?
You gotta go Hogan clean. As unfortunate as that is, you have to go Hogan clean. So Hogan wins the Rumble. No, Flair wins the Rumble, wins the belt. But they can still do like a honky finish with Hogan. Not really. I don't think it is. Go ahead.
Is he cycling off? Is he going to shrink in front of people like from month to month, week to week? Like, is he going to need like a bodysuit like Warrior?
He's got to do something because he can't do the steroids. I mean, he's still staying there. So intense workouts or something. I don't know what he has to do, but he stays there, wins against Flair. I mean, it's really hard because Hogan wins decisively. Flair,
you kill Flair. You take a whole bunch of the audience who are totally fed up with Hogan, and you're like, no, we're sticking with him. And you got to think that if Turner had the wherewithal with Savage, I think they could compete at that point because the fans were not buying Hulk Hogan in 1992.
Yeah, it's it's a weird one. Because where do you go from there? Do you have Hogan lose at Mania? Yeah, it's tough.
It doesn't work because it's Vince saying that NWA is superior to WWF, and he would never do that.
It's a tough one with Hogan. I almost think you do like Lose Leaves Town with Hogan and Flair. Eventually.
Well, it's too pro wrestling, pal. We make movies here now.
They did with Flair and Hennig in '93. Lose Leaves Town.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, just put Hogan in that spot. But it sucks for Flair because it really kills Flair off. It's tough if Hogan stays.
Well, it had way more intrigue if people didn't know if Hogan was staying or not, because then it's like, is Flair going to beat Hogan clean? I think then you could have Warrior come back. I mean, if Warrior comes back when Hogan's there, that's your program.
You turn Warrior heel or Hogan heel?
See what the crowd does.
Might want to turn Hogan heel. It might actually be better to turn Hogan heel. Kind of like maybe have
doesn't work for me, brother.
Well, too bad, brother. You don't have creative control in WWE. You're gonna fucking do it.
There's a couple of guys without creative control that have control, because Vince, he's not going to say no to the guy that gave him the more money than anybody else.
Yeah, true. Well, he suspended Austin and fined him, so Austin gave him a lot of money. But maybe turn Hogan heel against Warrior. And
Austin never felt like that guy to me. It was Hogan, Shawn, Taker. Those are the guys that, for whatever reason, have Vince around their fingers.
Yep. Well, fair enough. But anyway, to the end of that one, we'll get back to the awards. Turn Hogan heel. But it's fucking weird because you can't have Warrior beat him twice. I'll even give Hogan that. You got to get Hogan to win back with Warrior. They almost bring Warrior in like right after Mania and have him.
I think you can headline Wembley with Hogan Warrior too.
Yeah, that's the thing, but you can't.
And you put Davey and Brett on the undercard of that, and I don't know if you can get more people in it than they already had, but
you can put like the thing is that Hogan he could work a heel, like obviously prove he could be a heel. How does his heel turn work in WWE? Is it just like because he does a Hollywood thing in WCW, changed it all up together? Does he fully change his style, or does he just go?
Well, WCW, for all its faults, always had a more reality-based presentation. Yeah. They didn't ignore the real world.
Yeah, well, exactly. They acknowledged like sporting events and stuff. And I know it sounds crazy, but they did. I remember thinking that was kind of cool. But anyway,
yeah. If it happens in WWF, I mean, does Hogan get what happens with Flair? Like, does he get aligned with Razor? Is it like the proto NWO?
So weird, eh?
I don't know.
Yeah,
because at this time too, Hogan's shrinking. Yeah. So Hogan's shrinking. I think what happened for a reason. You can't just say, well, we're going to have a 240-pound Hulk Hogan on top. It's not going to work.
Well, and everyone else, if they have interpretations on this, put them in the comments. Put your thoughts on it. Because I didn't think of it at all. And I'll tell you right now, we talked in pre-production. I was going to wing it. I winged it, and I didn't fucking wing it good. So I don't give one fucking shit because I am the host of this show, and I'll do what I want. All right, let's jump back into the awards. We're going to go to Most Popular Wrestler, a.k.a. Best Babyface, and I think that I am up first. I want you to guess who it is.
Is it Masawa?
You know what's funny about that? I tried to. I really like when he used "Seek and Destroy," like the Metallica song, and I went to put that in as a theme in the program. I was just like, no. What's that?
Don't ever do that. That's like if God forbid if Sandman ever wins one of these awards, don't.
Yeah, fucking James Hetfield kicked my door down himself. That fucking guy. Anyway, I got Anita, sorry, at 2. Masahiro Misawa at 3, Bret Hart at 4, and Vampiro Canadians, which is I'm guessing Vampiro at 5. He was in Mexico at that point, I'm guessing, when he was having a real hot run there.
Yes.
So for you, I'm gonna guess Sting also.
Good guess.
Yeah. Well, they like staying at PWI. They're big
Yep.
fans.
Sting wins it with 16,874 votes, and first runner-up is the Ultimate Warrior with 16,357 votes. Second runner-up is The Undertaker with 14,234 votes. Third runner-up is the All-American Ron Simmons with 9,971 votes. And honorable mentions include Jerry Lawler, Bret Hart, Ricky Steamboat, Randy Savage, and the Steiners.
Where's the Hulkster, brother?
Well, he was booed at Royal Rumble, and
I don't want to hear it never happened. It's like your hate for Bob Backlund. All right, next award, Comeback Wrestler of the Year, and I have for myself Best Technical Wrestler of the Year. So you go ahead with the Comeback Wrestler of the Year.
Who do you think it was?
Oh, my bad. The Ultimate Warrior.
You're right.
Right there, baby.
Ultimate Warrior with his singlet.
Well,
he
came in April, was gone by November. I don't know how this really was a comeback, but anyway, go ahead.
He wins it with 25,892 votes. First runner-up is Bobby Backlund with 14,063 votes.
My man, Bobby Backlund.
Second runner-up is The Sheik with 6,710 votes. Third runner-up is the Junkyard Dog with 5,725 votes. And honorable mentions include Nikita Koloff, Stan Lane, Jake Roberts, Jimmy Snuka, Brad Armstrong, and Greg Valentine.
Yeah, okay. That's a bunch of bullshit. But anyway.
Remember in 94 when Ken Patera was one of the honorable mentions, and we were like, where did this happen?
And I looked it up, and Ken Patera didn't wrestle in 94. He wrestled with some alcoholism, but he didn't wrestle any wrestlers.
Ooh.
Which we shouldn't make fun of. That's not funny. You know? Fuck it, my dad died from it. I can make fun of it if I want. I'm allowed to. So guess who's the best technical wrestler?
Is it the Hitman?
That's his 95 intro, isn't it? That's the generic Japanese intros they used for them back then.
Yeah.
Number 2, Hiro Hase. Number 3, Miami Toyota. Number 4, Bret Hart. Number 5, Ric Flair. That is for the Comeback Wrestler of the Year and most Best Technical Wrestler of the Year. We're going to hop right into the next award. This one, Match of the Year. I want you to guess my Match of the Year. And P.S., when you guess it, I'm going to do the whole intros. So you have to watch. It's going to be about 30 seconds.
I think that's not the Rumble then.
No.
Is it War Games 92?
So there you go. Match of the Year. Doug Profit and Doug Furnace versus Kent Kobashi. And cannot pronounce the other guy's name, but you can pronounce that for me. Who's the other person in the tag match with Kobashi?
And Mora?
It's
Kikuchi?
Yeah, that's who it was.
Yeah, Kikuchi. Yeah.
So runner-up, Justin Liger and Brian Pillman from Super Brawl. Miami Toyota versus Keiko Inoue. I pronounced it wrong. Justin Liger versus El Samurai. Miami Toyota against Yamana. I'm not pronouncing this all thing. Okay. Elvis Santo, Onita, Gato versus Nel Carras, Tim Patterson and Horace Bowler. That's fucking weird, man. That Horace Bowler's in like 6 of the Match of the Year. That's the closest he ever came to having a good match. War Games.
Well, you know he was a passenger in that. That would be like if Rumble won and you could say Nikolai Volkov was in the Match of the Year.
True. War Games. Bret Hart and Davey Boy from London. Miami Toyo Yakama was Hara and Miami from Tokyo. Eddie Gilbert and Terry Funk. In November 14th in Wayne, New Jersey. I'm guessing that's a house show, like a indie show.
Yeah.
Be interesting. Royal Rumble. Justin Liger and Brian Pillman from December 27th in East Rutherford. Randy Savage and Flair from Mania. Brett and Sean from Survivor Series. Singing Cactus from, I think, Beach Blast. Mobile.
Yep.
Yeah. Sting and Vader from Albany, July 18th. What match is
That's
that?
that's Great American Bash 92.
Oh, they were in Albany? They had to be wrong. They weren't in Albany.
Albany, Georgia. Albany,
okay.
Georgia.
Okay, I thought it was Albany, New York. So it's a little strange. But and Rick Rude versus Masato from August 12th in Tokyo. I'm guessing your match of the year is Rick Rude and Ricky Steamboat 30-minute Ironman match.
This guy and his
David
brother-in-law.
Yeah. Good match. Good match.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. What's your runner-ups?
Davey Boy and Brett win it, and the first runner-up. They don't give the vote total for this. Interesting. Anyway, the first runner-up is Brian Pillman versus Jushin Liger with 13,562 votes. Second runner-up is the Royal Rumble with 13,093 votes. Third runner-up is the Iron Man match with Steamboat and Rude at 11,816 votes. Honorable mentions include Bret Hart versus Roddy Piper at Mania, Moondogs versus Jeff Jarrett and Jerry Lawler from from April 5th. From May 17. Oh no, sorry.
Are they blended together?
Well, it's April 5th is the Bret Hart Roddy Piper match. May 17th is Moondogs Jarrett Lawler. June 20 is Cactus Jack versus Sting Falls Hangover match. That's at Beach Blast. Ron Simmons versus Big Van Vader for the WCW World Title August 2nd. Sting versus Jake Roberts, Spin the Wheel, Make the Deal bout from October 25.
Oh, that was dog shit. That was so bad. Fuck.
Yeah, there was a lot of omissions. Like I when you were reading yours, I thought that's weird that Brett and Michaels would be above Brett and Piper, and for this one, it's weird that Sting and Jake.
In there. It's not even in there.
I know,
yeah.
I know, and it's weird that Sting and Jake would make it over Sting and Vader on this one. So,
all right, that's match of the year. Go ahead.
Who do you think won that? PWI or Wrestling Observer?
I've never seen the Wrestling Observer one.
Oh, okay. So
I'm going to watch it. I'll actually watch it, and on the next one, I'll tell you what I think. I'll remind myself to tell you what I think, because I like all the. Well, I don't know the other guy with Kobashi, but I love Kobashi. I love.
But you do know him actually, Kikuchi. He was the one who took on Stan Hansen and had that really awesome Boston Crab applied to him.
Oh, when Stan Hansen almost broke his fucking back. Yeah. Next one, tag team of the year. Okay. I'm guessing for you. Oh, that's a tough one. Money Incorporated.
No, I can tell you who one of the participants are.
Who the hell is it? I can't tell who that is.
That's Terry Bam Bam Gordy.
Oh, and Stevie Williams?
And Steve Williams. They win the tag team of the year. And they win it with 17,081 votes. First runner-up, the Natural Disasters with 15,713 votes. 18. Second runner-up, the Steiners with 13,743 votes. Third runner-up, Barry Windham and Dustin Rhodes with 11,020 votes. And honorable mentions include the Moondogs, the Heavenly Bodies, Money Inc., the Head Shrinkers, Ricky Steamboat and Dustin Rhodes, Arn Anderson and Bobby Eaton, and the Nasty Boys.
The Nasty Boys shouldn't be in there, but that's fine. Okay, guess what my tag team of the year is?
Is it also Gordy and Williams?
Yes, it's Terry Gordy and Steve Williams. And number 2, Can-Am Express. Number 3, Miami Toyota and Yamana. Rick and Scott Steiner at 4, and Heavenly Boys, Stanley and Tom Pritchard at number 5. So,
if I can just interject.
Yeah.
I think the Miracle Violence connection, Steve Williams and Terry Gordy, are my favorite tag team where both members are no longer with us.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty kick-ass. And Gordy was still somewhat, he was still good until he gets hurt. The next one's going to be the editor's award for you. I'm going to have, for mine, most embarrassing wrestler. Once we get to that is.
Is it Papa Shango?
Hold on here. It is Papa Shango. What is that? Is that a fucking nightlight?
It's a paint set to be Papa Shango. I subscribed to Pro Wrestling Crate. You get two T-shirts and a bunch of assorted merchandise every month, and this was
So editor award. I'm going to go Bobby Backlund on the editor award. That's
your prediction?
That's my prediction.
Actually, Stanley Weston.
It's his own award. Oh no, his award's up there. Did he die or something?
No, he just he retired, and this award would eventually become the Stanley Weston Award.
Yeah, that's why I thought that's what it was, but no, it wasn't that yet. It was.
I'm not sure because I don't have 93. I'm not sure if the very next year becomes a Stanley Weston Award or if that's. Okay. I'll have to take a look at some of the other ones.
Well, good for him. Good for Stanley Weston. Don't really care. The last award before we get to the secondary awards is the Pro Wrestler of the Year, and I'm going to guess for you.
Wait. Oh, never mind.
Oh, go ahead. What were we going to say?
I forgot that you already did most embarrassing. I thought you forgot to do it, but never mind. No, that's why I said never mind.
Embarrassing. You forgot that so quickly.
Believe me when I say never mind, I mean it.
So Wrestler of the Year, I'm picking for you, Sting. I'm picking Sting. Ricky Flair. Richard Flair. Yeah.
Ric Flair wins Wrestler of the Year with 18,238 votes. And first runner-up is Ron Simmons with 14,459 votes. Second runner-up is Rick Rude with 13,867 votes. Third runner-up is Bret Hart with 11,103 votes. Honorable mentions include Sting, Ultimate Warrior, Jerry Lawler, Big Van Vader, Davey Boy Smith, and Shawn Michaels.
Interesting. Guess what mine is?
Is it Jumbo?
Woo!
Ricky Flair. And number one, let's find out what we have for the. Let's switch the page here. Ric Flair at 1, Bret Hart at 2, Matsuhiro Misawa at 3, Jushin Liger at 4, Miami Toyota at 5. Did I ever tell you about my 30th birthday party? That was a long ass time ago in the Ric Flair theme music. Did you ever hear about that?
Yep.
We were drinking adult beverages. I feel like I'm going. Is my lighting getting weird there all of a sudden? There we go. That was odd. My lighting kind of cut out. We were having alcoholic beverages, and I was slightly intoxicated, and everyone was yelling, "Where's Scott?" And I had a big house full of people, and it was at an ex-girlfriend's, and they had speakers all through the house, really loud, and that came over all the speakers, the Flair theme, and they had a cake for me, but it wasn't a cake like you'd think. It was cupcakes with, instead of candles, it had cigarettes lit in it. But it was very cool. It was very thoughtful. I'll give them that. I was pretty impressed by it. What do I remember about it? Not a whole fucking lot because I was very intoxicated. I remember that the next day I went to a family dinner for my birthday, and I was given camera. I thought, fuck, that would have been good to have last night. And then I went to visit you in your area that same week. I had gone out to visit you really quickly after. The first time, I think it was the first time I came out. What was the first time I came out? No, it would have been 08. It was 08 that I came out. When I came out in 08. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't remember much about it. But anyway, that's just a fun story with Ric Flair theme music. So I'm kind of always have a soft spot for that. So we're going to jump into the secondary awards. You can start with all your stuff. I got some predictions or the what's going to happen next year stuff.
Yeah, I've got some predictions here.
Let's go with it.
We're going to start with Eric Krause from Flushing, New York. He says, Shawn Michaels will become WWF World Champion by SummerSlam. Rising to superstardom will be Tatanka, Crush, and Johnny Gunn. The Legion of Doom will return to WCW but feud against each other. Ric Flair will return to WCW and become a 10-time world champion. Vic Steamboat will enter WCW and feud with his brother Rick. The WWF will institute a light heavyweight title, which will be won in a tournament by Barry Horowitz. Talking about burying the title right from the get-go.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Like, here's a title, it doesn't matter. Kamala will finally talk. So, not so bad with the predictions.
Yeah, Flair goes back and wins the title, so he gets that part right. He's not a superstar. He gets pretty big. I mean, they push him pretty hard.
Same with Crush. 93, probably his biggest year. And next we have Vinny Vegas will get an offer from Vince McMahon to come to the WWF, but only if he rolls a 7. Instead, Vegas will roll snake eyes and end up cleaning up after WWF events, which is the role that suits him best anyway. Some hate.
Jesus. Yeah.
Some hate coming in hard.
Sorry, Kevin. Sorry about that.
Ric Flair will retire following a lengthy feud with Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig.
Kind of the way it leaves WWE, so I mean, kind of does.
He does retire if you only have USA. A new masked wrestler named Mad Mask will rise to superstardom in the independent federations and head toward a possible world title. I mean, this guy is just like throwing darts at a wall.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Lex Luger will win the WF World title in late fall. Not quite. Steve Austin will win the WCW World title from Ron Simmons at the Great American Bash. The top match of the year candidate will be Nikita Koloff versus Vladimir Koloff in a Russian chain match for the U.S. title. Rick Rude will hold the NWA, WCW TV, and World Tag Team titles simultaneously with Jake Roberts, the tag titles. Yeah. And that was Andrew Nichols from Ottawa, Ontario. And I have one more here.
Yep, let's do it.
Lex Luger will be WWF World Champion before the year ends. Steve Austin and Rod Price will defeat Barry Windham and Dustin Rhodes for the WCW World Tag Team title.
Who the hell is Rod Price?
He was a wrestler in Global. He actually did team up with Austin back in the USWA days.
Okay.
The Undertaker will bury Razor Ramon for the Intercontinental title. And about never to be seen by U.S. fans, Steve Williams and Terry Gordy will meet the Legion of Doom in Japan. Hulk Hogan will win the IWGP Championship. Jake Roberts and Cactus Jack will bring Kevin Sullivan and Luna Vachon to WCW as their manager and valet. Collectively, they will be known as the Asylum. Announcing their retirement will be Kerry Von Erich, Jerry Lawler.
Kerry kind of retired. I mean,
he did, technically.
Yeah.
Larry Zbyszko and Andre the Giant.
Andre retired too early in the year. Technically,
this guy fucking nailed it. Coming out of retirement for a one-time pay-per-view event, Bill Watts and Dusty Rhodes, seconded by Fabulous Moolah, will meet Harley Race and Terry Funk, seconded by Medusa. Luthez will be special referee. So he kind of predicted Slamboree in a way.
Yeah.
And that was Richard Evans from Gulfport, Mississippi.
Good boy, Richard. Okay, let's jump into some secondary awards for the for the Observer. Most outstanding wrestler, Jushin Liger. Most unimproved. Guess who that is?
The Warrior?
Randy Savage. Warriors 2.
Oh.
Most obnoxious, Bill Watts. Vince McMahon's 2nd. Gorilla Monsoon is 3. Eric Watts is 4. Jim Ross is 5. Best on interviews.
It's Jim Cornette.
Ric Flair. Cornette's 2. Most charismatic.
Flair.
Sting.
Oh.
Bruiser Bro Memorial Awards.
Was Cactus?
Yeah. Best flying wrestler.
Liger.
Yeah. Most overrated.
It's a Warrior.
Watts. Warriors 2, Van Hammer's 3, Ron Simmons 4.
Eric Watts?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ron Simmons is 4, and Razor's 5. Most underrated.
Owen?
Terry Taylor. Lightning Kids 2, Bobby Eaton's 3, Pellman's 4, Benoit's 5. Best promotion.
New Japan?
New Japan. All Japan's 2, All Japan Women's 3, Smoky Mountain's 4, WWF is 5. Best television show.
Is it USWA?
All Japan. New Japan Pro is New Japan World Pros 2, Smoky Mountain, Superstars, Saturday Night. Best television announcer.
Is this Lance Russell?
Jim Ross, your boy, Tony Schiavone is number 2. And Bob Caudell. Okay. Worst television announcer.
Gorilla.
It's Gorilla.
In 92!
Yeah, didn't like him. I thought he was good with Heenan. Looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Best wrestling move. Best wrestling move.
Shooting Star Press.
Too Cool Scorpio, 450 Splash. Best wrestling card.
Dream Slam.
All Japan Women. Wrestle Mermaid paid. I can't. It's a lot of shit. Super Brawl 2 is number 2. Rumbles 3. New Japan G1 Climax Final Nights 4. SummerSlam 92 is 5. Worst wrestling event.
Is it Halloween Havoc?
It is number 2, Great American Bash.
Oh man.
Yeah,
The
and the Clash that you love so much is tied for 2.
Oh my god.
Mania 8 and then Beast Blast. They don't like your fucking shit, man. I know you love that Great American Bash. Best color commentator.
Is it Heenan?
It's Heenan, yeah. Reader's favorite wrestler. Go ahead.
Wait a second. How did they justify that? Having Gorilla as the worst play-by-play, and like, do they not think that it's a team? I mean, they work together.
Why are you trying to figure it out, man? These guys are bitter. They're jaded already, not like us at the time. Reader's favorite wrestler.
Is it Liger?
It's Flair. It's always Flair.
Oh,
Liger's too.
Yeah.
Reader's least favorite wrestler.
Eric Watts?
Yeah. Worst wrestler.
Is it also Eric Watts?
Nope. It's Andre, Nails, Ultimate Warrior, and then Van Hammer.
Worst tag
team. No, it's Andre's first. Yeah.
Oh. Is it Natural Disasters?
Bushwhackers.
Oh, yeah.
Disaster 2, Andre and Bob are 3. Vegas Connection, Vinny Vegas, Dallas Page are 4.
Yeah, Andre and Bob are pretty bad.
Fuck, Andre couldn't do anything. Andre just did shit.
I actually watched his last match, his last televised match in All Japan. Yeah.
Worst television show.
Is it Main Event?
Global on ESPN.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Worst manager.
Slick?
Fuji.
No. Oh, yeah.
Whippleman, Genius, Gary Hart. Worst match of the year.
Is it Undertaker Kamala?
Rude and Chono from Halloween Havoc. That was pretty fucking bad. Hogan, Sid's 2. Sting and Roberts from Halloween Havoc was 3. Mr. Pogo and Muscle Kanata, I can't remember. And the barbed wire baseball bat match is 4. And Paulie Dangerously Medusa's 5. Worst feud of the year.
Is it Warrior Congo?
Oh, you're damn right it is. Then we have Simmons, Barbarian, Bossman and Nails, Taker and Kamala, and Steiners and Williams and Gordy.
What? They don't know what they're talking about, you know. I know taste is subjective, but these people are wrestling fans, or else they wouldn't be voting in the Wrestling Observer. What are they seeing that I'm not seeing? What do they don't see that I do see? I mean,
I'm not sure.
They want the Warrior to win all the time.
Worst on interviews.
Is it Warrior?
Yep. Vinny Vegas is 2. Kerry Von Erich's 3. Eric Watts is 4. Tony Atlas is 5. Worst promotion. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, have you seen any early Vinny Vegas promos where he's trying to do like a Chevy Chase Saturday Night Live accent?
No.
It's rough. He's like, we got some boys. We're gonna take them outside and have our way with them. And he's trying to do like what he thinks is a gangster voice, but it's like from the 30s, and it doesn't work. Worst promotion, is it WCW?
GWF. WCW is 2. IWCCW is 3. WWF is 4. I think we have 5. And War is 5. Best booker.
Is it Cornette?
It's New Japan, Chozu, Hase, Saito, and Liger.
Yeah.
So I guess they're all booking. What the fuck was that? Something went down. Giant Bob is 2. Jim Cornette's 3. Vince McMahon is 4. Antonio Pinilla is 5. Best promoter.
The Bubba?
Baba, yeah. McMahon's 2. Cornette's 3. The guy from New Japan, I can't remember his name. I can't pronounce it, but it's New Japan. And Akira minus 4. 5. Best gimmick.
Undertaker?
Yeah. And then Skinheads. I don't know what the fuck that is. Mike Samples, Juice and Liger, and then Razor. And last but not least, worst gimmick.
Papa Shango?
Papa Shango, Doink the Clown, which is fucking brutal. I guess in 92 he hasn't hit his stride yet. But there's no way this. Razor's 3, which is funny because he's 5 in best gimmick, so I don't know what the hell they're doing. And Maniac Mike Davis, and I'll tell you something, the gimmick that a lot of people shit on that I like. I have a guilty pleasure of it. Repo Man.
Oh yeah, I love Repo Man.
I love Repo Man's promos are fucking hilarious, man. Like stealing people's shit. But I think that I'll give them credit on that one. At the time, it's probably bad. I think it ages a bit better where we watch back now and kind of get a humor of it.
The thing is, when it first started, there was a hint of seriousness to it. It didn't last long, but the Repo Man character was kind of like trying to be evil. portrayed as like kind of like Erwin R. Shyster, like an offshoot of that, but a little more heinous. And then just Darcel is a goof, so it's gonna go.
Yeah.
I think the reason that people viewed it so negatively is talking about fall from grace. Just a couple of years before, you probably had the biggest pop of Mania.
Well, behind Warrior and Hogan.
Well, they split the crown. So,
Demolition was fucking. We all know this. Everyone watching this knows Demolition was massive in 89, 90. Like, I mean, they were right there with Hogan.
Yeah.
Like, and they had some kick-ass match. That match with the Brainbusters and Science Man event was really, really good.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah, they were really good. And it's
I really like their matches with Twin Towers too.
Yeah, I mean they're good. Yeah, but I mean either way. So that's where we're at now. But anyway, so that is the show for this evening. We actually didn't go too long tonight. That's good.
No, we didn't.
And 1992, again, weird little year. 93 is a fun year. I'd be interested when we get to that. Because 93 is a big difference from 92. Like big time.
Yeah, it's all around worse. I would say that this is it's tied for my favorite year because I think it is my favorite year because I could go back and watch it. Whereas I love 97. I don't really have the urge to go back and watch WCW 97. 97 is more WWF. 92 is WCW and WWF.
Oh yeah, there's some good stuff. But I remember watching WWF in 92 as it was happening, and I was getting a little sick of it. Yeah, it was kind of getting like, oh, this is the same old shit I'm seeing all the time. And again, as a kid, when I'm watching in 88, 89, 90, or even 87, or before that, but watch regularly, I'm still into it. 92, man, like 90, 91 really soured me to that company, and then 92 didn't really help.
You know what the worst part about 92 is that doesn't get talked about enough? Is you've got Gorilla and Bobby being awesome on Challenge, but Challenge is the B show. On the A show, you had Vince and Perfect.
Yeah, the Perfect's bad.
He just screams to me unimportant. Like, not as a wrestler, but as a commentator, I don't care about the Mr. Perfect because he's always talking about how he could beat anybody. Like, I remember, to get on a tangent of a tangent, but I had a question read on the air on Jim Cornette's podcast.
Okay.
And I asked who he thought was the better color commentator, Heenan or Jesse. And he said Heenan without a second thought. And his co-host, Brian Last, says, oh, that's odd. I thought you would have had to think about that because that's the reason I chose the question, because I could see it going either way. And he said, no, Heenan always got the talent over. Jesse was very good at getting himself over. And I don't think that's true. I do think it's true. I think it's true with Hennig. I don't think it's true with Jesse.
Oh, yeah. Hennig sucked. Like, Hennig was no good. No. Jesse was good. And Jesse was cool because he wouldn't hate on all the faces.
No.
Like, he really gave Demolition their credit.
He never had a bad thing to say about Brett, heel or face.
Yeah. So, but that's that. So we thank everyone for watching. And by the way, before we close it out, so hit that subscribe button, comments, hit the like button, and let Andrew talk.
Also, if you guys have any of these PWI year-end awards, or dating back even further with the Wrestler, which we're doing the year-end awards at that time, or some of the other magazines, because I was actually on eBay today and I saw that Wrestling Rule Breakers, which was what if you remember the magazine Wrestling 86, Wrestling 88, it became like a heels magazine, and for 93 they did their own awards. And I know that Wrestling's Main Event, maybe Wrestling I'm not 100% sure, but there may be some other magazines that aren't PWI that do year-end awards. If you have any of those, feel free to leave it in the comments. We'll get in contact with you, work something out. Also, if you have any torches or anything like that that helps Scott out on the newsletter side.
And last thing I want to say too is talk about the subscribers. You were talking to me before about what happens when we hit 100 subscribers.
Yeah, because we're looking at it. We look every day to see our view counts being up and our subscribers and our comments. And we are our subscribers. I mean, it's just us. So we've thought that we need some sort of incentive. What would make you guys subscribe to us so you'd be able to be alerted when a new episode drops.
And I was thinking a cameo at their house from Undertaker. We pay for that. Have Undertaker go to their house, hang out for 6 hours. I mean, you're making good money, so I'll let you take care of that.
Yeah,
that
I just thought that we would go a different route, and for every 100th subscriber, just take a screenshot when it's 99 and switch over to 100. Take a screenshot of that. Get in touch with us in the comments. Say, I'm the 100th subscriber. And we'll make it worth your while. We'll maybe even invite you on. And once you have
they don't want that shit. They don't want 100 to get on and talk to our asses. I think they want. Yeah, well, I guess
we'll discuss it. I think, but also we'll get you some swag. We'll make it worth your while. We'll make it worth your while to inform other like-minded fanatical devotees. If you're a wrestling fan, this is a place that I want to be destination viewing. I want you to come every week.
That's true. And we do upload every week on Tuesday. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody for watching tonight's episode of Newsstand versus Newsletter 1992. And we will see you again next week. Have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye.
Beautiful plaque. Okay, the first one is Billy Jack. Billy Jack was voted by all you fans all over the world as the most improved wrestler of the year. And I'd like to give him the plaque right now. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce the man who received over 12,000 votes. 12,000 votes as the most popular wrestler of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the plaque, and now here's the man who won it by your choice, the former World Heavyweight Wrestler.